Archangel Michael says, a hidden truth is buried behind your blessings. Someone close has been watching your rise with a secret in their heart and fear in their eyes. They never thought you'd discover how deep their involvement really was. This person knows something you don't. Not just a detail, but the root of how you became rich. It was never supposed to be hidden, yet they chose silence instead of honor. They stood beside you during your breakthrough, clapped during your elevation, but inside, they carried guilt. Because part of your success is tied to something they never told you. And heaven has waited long enough. Now, the moment to confront is almost here. Type Amen to get blessing 333. This person is losing sleep over what you might find out. They check your expressions, your words, your tone, afraid that you've figured it out. Because what they did years ago is now returning in waves. It wasn't theft. It wasn't fraud. It was a decision, a single decision they made that placed something powerful in your hands. And they never expected it would grow into the fortune you have today. You are walking on soil they prepared, but they never confessed. They let you think it happened one way, while the truth followed you like a quiet shadow. That shadow is getting darker now, because God has called light into every hidden place. Type Amen to get blessing 444. A conversation from your past, short, simple, forgotten, is about to come back with new meaning. Someone who overheard it is ready to speak. They can no longer carry the knowledge without revealing it. The one who kept the truth hidden once believed they were protecting you. But that excuse has expired. Their silence is no longer a shield, it's a burden, and it's breaking them down from the inside. Archangel Michael says, you were chosen to be blessed, but not deceived. And what was meant for peace cannot coexist with secret guilt. The exposure is not to harm, it's to heal. But healing only comes after truth. Type Amen to get blessing 888. This person may act strange in your presence now. More distant, more agreeable, more nervous. That's because the spiritual world is already pressing in. Your name is being spoken in places tied to this hidden event. Documents are being reread. Records are being dusted off. Even old text messages are stirring something in people connected to this truth. Soon, a revelation will come not through confrontation, but through divine alignment. You'll overhear something, or someone will accidentally reveal it. And you will stand still, realizing this is what your spirit has been sensing. The secret cannot remain buried any longer. Type Amen to get blessing 222. They tried to erase the trace, tried to rewrite the timeline. But there's one thing they forgot: heaven remembers. And heaven never forgets what was done in darkness to someone chosen by light. The wealth you carry has always been yours by divine right, but the truth behind how it arrived carries spiritual significance. And that's why the enemy wanted it hidden. Because when you know the full story, you will walk in even more power. The moment you hear it, your soul will feel the shift. Something inside you will snap into place. A piece you didn't know was missing. Type Amen to get blessing 919. There's a woman who knows the truth too. She didn't orchestrate it, but she watched it unfold. And now, her conscience is stirring. She's tired of pretending. She was told to keep quiet, that it was for your own good. But God is speaking to her in dreams, giving her visions, urging her to tell you what she witnessed. She will reach out soon. And her words will match what your spirit already suspected. She is part of your closure. And when she speaks, you'll understand how deep the silence ran. Type Amen to get blessing 717. You've always wondered why certain people treat you with silent tension. Now you'll know. Because some of them believe you owe them something. But the truth is, their silence cost you more than their help ever gave. They could have spoken long ago, could have come clean, but they chose their own comfort over your clarity. And now God is shaking their comfort until confession is the only option left. What you built is still yours. It's blessed. It's real. But the atmosphere around it is being cleaned now. Because nothing grows well in concealed truth. Type Amen to get blessing 121. A message is coming. A letter. A call. A sudden mention of a name from years ago. It will seem random, but it's not. God has arranged it perfectly. You'll hear something that cracks the entire memory open. It'll hit your chest like thunder. And once it begins, you'll start seeing everything differently. The people, the places, even the paths you walked to get here. You're not paranoid. You've been spiritually aware. Type Amen to get blessing 484. You were never meant to carry this wealth with questions swirling around it. God blessed you. Yes, but others tried to twist the story. They wanted to rewrite your rise so they could control how high you go. But Archangel Michael says, heaven is correcting the narrative. The false version that was told to others, the one that made it seem like you stumbled into success, is being erased. The truth is being restored, and it will elevate you beyond their expectations. This person who held back the truth is now feeling exposed, even before words are spoken. Their spirit knows the time is near. Their body is reacting. Tired eyes, sudden illness, restlessness, because spiritual pressure is building around them. Truth isn't knocking gently anymore. It's breaking through the door. Type Amen to get blessing 616. A man who was present during the origin of your blessing has been silent for too long. He thought it wasn't his business to speak. But now, God has turned his heart into a vessel for truth. He may not reach out directly, but someone close to him will speak for him. And in their voice, you will hear a detail that changes everything. The memory will return to you like lightning. One sentence, one moment, one choice they made that redirected your future, and you never even knew it. But now, the time for knowing has come. Type Amen to get blessing 343. They believed you couldn't handle the full story. They thought it would damage your focus, or steal your peace. But God says your peace was never built on lies, it was built on promise. And the truth will only strengthen your foundation. You're about to enter a level where truth is currency, where those who hide will crumble, and those who face light will rise. There's someone watching you closely now, trying to decide if they should say something. They don't know that God already made the decision for them. Their silence is ending, even if they're not ready. Type Amen to get blessing 818. Your intuition has been sharp lately. Certain people's behavior doesn't sit right. You're seeing patterns, feeling tension that wasn't there before. That's because the truth is rising, and those who hid it can feel it crawling closer. They will soon make mistakes, talk too much, deny something too quickly, slip up in front of the wrong person. These mistakes are not random. They are divine setups. You won't need to investigate. Heaven is delivering the answers to your doorstep. Type Amen to get blessing 474. You may be tempted to stay quiet, to let it go once. You hear the truth, but God says, confront it with grace, not for drama, not for power, but to cleanse your story completely, because the blessings coming next are too big to rest on an unclear past. The person who hid this truth thought they could walk with it forever, but now, they will either break or bend. They will either confess or collapse under the weight of what they buried. You are about to witness someone who once stood tall, shrink before the light of what they refused to face. Type Amen to get blessing 323. A place you once visited is tied to the beginning of this secret. You might not remember it now, but something will trigger the memory, a scent, a location, a voice. And suddenly, it will all come flooding back. That was the moment everything shifted. You didn't recognize it then, because heaven covered you with grace. But now, the covering is lifting just enough for you to see what truly happened. And when you do, your voice will carry new authority. Type Amen to get blessing 636. Archangel Michael says, no wealth gained through silence can last without justice. Your wealth was ordained, but it passed through hands that carried hidden motives. That is why this confrontation must happen, not with violence, but with truth. The person who helped you more than you knew will finally speak, and when they do, they will cry, not because they're weak, but because the silence nearly destroyed them too. They were afraid for too long, but God is giving them the strength to finally stand in the light. Type Amen to get blessing 848. The final stretch of this truth is the most powerful. Because when the lie is fully removed, what rises in its place is pure, unstoppable clarity. You were never the villain in this story, you were the vessel, the one who received, who multiplied, and who never questioned what was buried beneath. But now the foundation must be cleared, because where you're going next, the truth must be clean. And God will not allow your name to rise on top of half-truths and unfinished stories. The person who kept this from you will stand before you. They won't know how to begin. They'll hesitate. They'll tremble. But the truth will pour out of them like a dam finally broken. And when it does, the room will shift. Because spirit always reacts when deception is removed. Type Amen to get blessing 747. You may feel a mix of emotions, shock, anger, confusion. But you'll also feel something sacred, peace. Because in that moment, God will confirm what your soul already knew. The silence wasn't because you were forgotten. It was because your spirit had to be protected until you were strong enough to handle the full truth. And now you are. Your wealth, your influence, your rise, it's all real. But now, your understanding of it will match your elevation. There will be no more confusion about where it came from. God is handing you not just abundance, but clarity. Type Amen to get blessing 383. The woman who tried to steer the narrative, the man who avoided telling you, the people who watched and said nothing, they will all face their own inner storm. Not because you demand justice, but because heaven does. And justice will arrive gently, then loudly. First in whispers, then in undeniable revelation. People will look at you differently, not with suspicion, but with awe. Because they'll see that even in the face of withheld truth, you carried yourself with grace. You never sought revenge. You chose to trust God. And now God is rewarding that trust with elevation no one can explain. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Archangel Michael says, your season of half-light is over. No more missing pieces. No more quiet guilt floating around your name. No more wealth without full awareness. You will confront this truth with power, and you will walk forward lighter, freer, and wiser. And when you do, the next chapter of your life will begin with a moment so big, so divinely aligned, it will make every shadow worth it. Because you didn't just survive the secret, you outgrew it. And now, you're ready for everything that comes next. Type Amen to get blessing 111. Even though the truth has finally surfaced, its ripple effect is still moving. Conversations are changing. People who once doubted you are starting to come forward, not just to apologize, but to admit what they knew and never said. They're uncomfortable around you now, not because of guilt alone, but because your light is revealing their shadows. They see your strength, your peace, your favor, and realize that what they tried to bury only helped you rise higher. This is what divine justice looks like. Not rage, not revenge, but truth unfolding in front of many, while your head remains high and your spirit unshaken. God didn't allow the lie to break you. He used it to build your platform. Type Amen to get blessing 333. The person who finally confessed will begin to change too. You'll see them more humbled, more soft-spoken. They'll walk carefully in your presence, aware of the weight they've carried and the freedom that came the moment they released it. And something beautiful will happen. You will start to see clearly how everything aligned to get you here. Every hidden piece, every moment of confusion, every unspoken truth, it all brought you to this powerful point of clarity. Now, you're untouchable in a new way. Not because of money, not because of influence, but because no one can use your story against you anymore. Your name is fully restored, spiritually and publicly. Type Amen to get blessing 808. Doors will open now that were once mysteriously closed. Relationships that drifted without reason will circle back. Connections that felt forced before will now flow with ease. That's because the spiritual block, caused by the lie, has been lifted. You'll walk differently, speak with more purpose. And the people watching will wonder how you remained so calm in the middle of deception. But they won't know the truth. You were never alone. Angels guarded your truth like fire around a crown. And now, the crown sits fully on your head. Type Amen to get blessing 212. There's more wealth coming too. Not because of the confrontation, but because of the release. Once the weight of a secret is removed, divine favor accelerates. Your hands are open now, free to receive without questions, without conflict, without shadows. This season will feel lighter, brighter. You'll rest better, think clearer, love deeper, because truth has finally been allowed to sit next to your success. And it fits perfectly. Type Amen to get blessing 111. The truth has not only cleared the atmosphere, it has begun rewriting the very path ahead of you. What was once blocked by unseen tension is now flowing with unexpected favor. The silence that surrounded your wealth has been shattered, and what remains is a space so clean, even your enemies can't deny it anymore. People who once tried to take credit for your success are now silent. Not because they forgot, but because they fear what else might be revealed. Their lies were small compared to the weight of the truth that now surrounds you like a shield. You're being elevated into a realm where clarity is currency. No more hidden contracts. No more spiritual knots. Just clean air, clear paths, and full understanding of what's rightfully yours. Your success is now backed by both truth and heavens. Authority. Type Amen to get blessing 999. Archangel Michael says, this confrontation has unlocked something generational. You didn't just free yourself, you've corrected the spiritual record for those who come after you. The next generation will walk lighter because you dared to face what others ran from. Your children, your legacy, your future alliances, they will all benefit from this moment. Because the wealth that started in mystery now flows in truth. You are a gatekeeper now. What comes through you will be purified. What is given to you will multiply. Because God now trusts you not just with blessings, but with truth. And that is the highest kind of wealth. Type Amen to get blessing 474. Soon, someone will approach you with a proposal or opportunity. It will feel eerily similar to how this whole journey began. But this time, your eyes will be sharper. Your discernment will be instant. What once confused you will now be obvious. What once tempted you will now expose itself quickly. That's the power of spiritual clarity. You no longer need time to know the truth. This confrontation has become your compass. It will guide you into greater abundance, but also into safer alliances. Because you now understand that not everyone who helps you is honest, and not every blessing is clean. Type Amen to get blessing 383. But now, your blessings will be clean. Your peace will be real. And your story will be whole. You are no longer walking in borrowed light. You are shining in your own. And nothing, no one, and no lie can ever dim that again. God has cleared your name in heaven's records, and now He's displaying your truth on earth. This is your reward. This is your justice. This is your legacy. Type Amen to get blessing 333. There's still more unfolding in realms you cannot see, but you will feel the effects. The clarity you now walk in is reshaping how people approach you. Conversations feel different. Smiles are more genuine. And silence from certain people is no longer a threat. It's confirmation of what they tried to hide and couldn't. You are no longer in a chapter of confusion. You've stepped into divine knowing. And with that knowing comes confidence that doesn't need to prove itself to anyone. Let them wonder how you're glowing. Let them whisper about how things turned in your favor. Heaven knows it was never sudden. It was justice, long prepared, now delivered. Type Amen to get blessing 505. There is someone new entering your life soon, sent by God, drawn by your purity, attracted by your authority. This person will respect what you've built, not envy it. They'll speak to your spirit, not your status. Because God is surrounding you with real ones now. The type of people who bring peace, not pressure. The kind who ask nothing in return for love, presence, and honesty. That's part of your reward too. Relationships that carry no hidden contracts. You've faced enough masked faces. Now, only divine connections will be allowed near. Type Amen to get blessing 606. Archangel Michael says, your name is now written in higher places. It was already known in heaven, but now it's becoming respected on earth. The very same name people used in gossip is now spoken with admiration and awe. Some will pretend they always believed in you. Others will stay silent, hoping you don't bring up what they said or didn't say. But you won't need to remind them. Your blessings will. Every step forward from this point will be a message. Every new opportunity will be a testimony. Every door that opens will prove what they tried to cover couldn't stop you. Type Amen to get blessing 727. You've not only survived the lie, you've been crowned because of it. This is more than recovery. It's acceleration. Now that the truth has been spoken, your life will speed up in the right direction. Money will flow smoother. Relationships will be purer. Decisions will feel easier. It's the power of alignment. God is aligning everything now because you were brave enough to face the silence with faith instead of fear. This wasn't just your breakthrough. It was your spiritual rebirth. Type Amen to get blessing 888.